Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts, Jeremy Barker, Aaron Arms, and Chad Niddle.
Oh my God! We're back. It's Bark, and to my left is Nit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
To my right is Arms. Did I do that backwards?
Yeah, I'm displaced.
Arms to my left. And
No,
Nit to my right.
we're actually correct. That's how it goes.
Yeah, we switched the table up a little bit, but I've got.
So we've turned the tables.
We've turned the table.
Much like the Cleveland Browns, baby.
Well, don't forget about Lambert.
Oh yeah, Lambert.
That's why everything started differently, because I'm to the far right.
Lambert to your rear.
Lambert's like our guy on the other side of the wall behind the pane glass. He's our Roz. He's the Roz to our Frazier.
I like it.
Roz to our Frazier.
The Roz to our Frazier. But yeah, the Browns won a game.
Free beer in Cleveland. Did anyone see the tweet that the Cleveland Police Department put out?
I saw the Cleveland Browns one that said, like, open them fridges, Bud Light. And that was from, like, official Cleveland Browns. That was good stuff.
The Cleveland Police Department posted something along the lines of, yes, we won. Wait, oh my God. Cleveland,
free beer thing.
Calm down. The free beer thing. Just calm down. Everyone relax.
Good times.
Good times.
And then you got Oklahoma's head coach tweeting out,
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Bet they forgive you for planting the flag now.
Yeah. Yep. Will they? I don't know. I do. I forgive him. But Arms, I don't know if Arms is ready to do that.
First
yet.
off,
That's a great moment in Heisman history. That's where he won the Heisman, basically.
Hey, I've said
That's
on
a
the
non-Buckeye
third
fan
game
there,
of
too.
the season.
If he planted it at Tennessee, would you feel the same way?
Oh, he wouldn't have made it out of the stadium alive.
if he planted at Tennessee and it was like, dude, he's just a punk. He's just a punk.
He had
There's
the
nothing
opportunity.
Never going to be good.
Remember him leading the comeback against Tennessee at Neyland? He didn't plant our flag. That kind of tells us where my Vols are compared to Ohio State.
Well, it's not really a landmark win whenever you beat Tennessee.
Right. I'll admit that.
I happened to stumble upon a Tennessee Vols mascot, Smokey, in the form of a pillow pet for $5 at a closeout Kmart. And Nit wanted it. I got it for him.
Dude, I'm the proud owner of it. Folds up into a football or like kind of a pad or something. Dude, it's pretty sweet. Love a smoky pillow.
Smoky pillow. And Arms got a little Ohio State. I don't know what the heck that thing was.
It's a like a pillow light or pet light or something like that.
Something like
Dude,
that.
my kids play with that constantly.
But it's Brutus, and it looks like an Amish fella.
Dude,
It does.
Looks like Cletus.
Cletus Yoder.
Niddle was like, I want to hire that thing to build me a porch.
Almost did, man. I've never seen a funnier looking Brutus though.
Arms, your pillow pet guy will never have to pay taxes. Congratulations.
Works for me. I'd rather not.
And you don't need to buy him a degree. But yeah, the Browns.
That's insensitive.
The Browns and the Jets. They played a football game last night, and it ended like a Super Bowl win for Cleveland, with the streets going crazy, the Bud Lights being cracked,
Flowing.
and everyone asking for the trade of Tyrod Taylor.
I mean, keep him on your team because there's no quarterback controversy. You have one that appears to have upside, and you have one that doesn't.
So, and the one that has the upside's already better than the one who doesn't. So just play him. Baker looked awesome last night.
I love that everybody can say, like, if Baker started game one, the Browns would be the only 3-0 team in the league.
Dude, I made that comment to someone at work today, and it's true. They're 1-1-1. They lost by 5 points, man. They were right in it to the end.
How you feel about this Cleveland love, Lamb?
I'm loving it. I mean, they've made some good moves. What can you say? Everyone's jumping on Hugh Jackson, too, because he basically in the press conference told him he's got to watch the tape to see who his starting quarterback is.
That's the politically correct thing to say. That's what he's supposed to say.
That's what a good head coach does.
Yeah, they don't come out and be like, Tyrod sucks, Baker's in.
Hugh's not a good head coach, but that's what a good head coach does.
That's a good way of putting that.
That is good. That's a beautiful wordplay, Eminem.
He's probably going to start Tyrod Taylor.
No.
It's Hugh Jackson, man. You don't know. Wild card.
I'm kind of with Lambert on this one.
That's just a bunch of coach speak, man. I gotta go back to it, like, dude.
Yeah, but it's a terrible coach.
Get out of here. Go back to the tape and watch Baker dropping that dime right down the middle of the field, right past Deron Lee, put him inside the 5. I thought, like, when he made that throw standing in the pocket, I was sold.
Hey, let's just realize that's throws that Matthew Stafford wasn't making 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
No doubt.
Or was it a better? And Deron Lee's clearly worn down from returning all those interceptions because Stafford threw him.
so I'm interested. Let's give an over/under in percentage. Is Baker going to be a good quarterback the whole season? I've got 80-20 that he does.
Well, I don't think it's fair to say all season.
I
think clearly
not
he's
every
going to
game,
have
but-
downs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I get what you're saying. You know, is
Is
he
he
going to
have
be?
a successful rookie season?
Yes.
Yes.
I say
They won a game. Yes, he's already had a successful rookie.
yeah. It's
Get-
100%.
They
based on
just
game
put
one.
him in the Cleveland Ring of Honor. Like it's his jersey or his number up beside Jim Brown, and he's an active player.
One more win, and he will tie Cleveland legend Johnny Manziel.
Oh God!
He's already better than Tim Couch, Cody Kessler.
that whole
Couch.
jersey. Dude,
Hey, Tim Couch had a 10-win season.
but talked about the moxie he had. I mean, I know you're high on that, Barker.
Yeah, I am very high on the moxie, and
His
Baker
after play.
Baker was like running up the sideline, like thrusting his arms up and down, like arms after a workout. Like he was just really into it.
He was engaged with the defense.
Engaged with the players. The players were loving it. They were feeding off of him, just like we feed off arms.
He just brings enthusiasm and excitement to his bench, to the game whenever he's in there. I think 100% sure, getting back to answer your question, he's going to have a great rookie season.
It was the most un-Jay Cutler-like celebration that I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, he celebrated, so that's
right. But I mean, it was like if Jay Cutler had an evil twin brother that was completely different. That's Baker Mayfield.
like Yay Cutler instead of Jay
Speaking
Cutler.
There
of
you
Jay
go.
Cutler, let's talk about Jarvis Landry.
Or Bay, B-A-E.
How awesome is Jarvis Landry? You guys want to talk about quarterback proof? This dude was productive with Tannehill, Matt Moore, Jay Cutler, and Tyrod Taylor.
Is it safe to say if he had a Tom Brady, he would have a 2,000-yard season?
Maybe.
2,000-yard season?
Safe to say.
He's now going to have a Baker Mayfield.
But this is the
it's
truth.
gonna be
like
awesome.
Jarvis Landry has been underrated for years.
You do realize
He's not just a slot
he's still-
receiver.
every year he finishes in the top 6, 7 every year since he's been in the league, really.
Yeah.
But he gets wrote off. Every year he's
he's
going to be worse.
Yeah, he's a 15 to 20 guy every year to every fantasy person out there.
Yeah.
And he's more 10 and up.
correct
And
me
it is
if I'm-
even later, but it is even later this year. You know, people,
Yeah.
his value dropped significantly.
Oh, but Josh Gordon.
I want to say he had almost 11-inch hands.
yeah,
His
going
hands,
back
his hands were bigger than Odell Beckham Jr.'s.
like
Get out the measurement.
Get the tape.
Get the tape.
can't do it.
I got these tiny hands.
These are some big old mitts, boys.
But he catches everything except the ball thrown right in his chest on that last drive. But we're kind of talking about that
Baker
before the
laser.
show. I think he was surprised. Surprised that ball got on him. Talking about Jarvis Landry, the throw from Baker. I thought he was surprised it got up on him after seeing the tie rod lobs all season long. So
So I was watching another part of the game. I looking for people who aren't your typical fantasy producers. I was looking at Antonio Callaway. Anthony Callaway?
Antonio
Callaway.
Antonio
I
Callaway.
was looking at
Jaquan
Callaway
Tony.
just burning people, being open. And
With Tyrod in the
And Tyrod
game.
just couldn't get the ball to him.
I don't know if he can throw that far.
Well, the one he had the guy beat by 5 or 6 yards, had to stop and come back, and the other guy caught up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's all Tyrod's got in his cannon. That's it. It's like a 22.
Yeah. To go back to Antonio Callaway, his value's premium. I said on one of our earliest shows that I thought he was a first-round talent who went through all the issues at Florida, and that's why he ended up at the 4th or later in this year's draft. I mean, the dude is legit, but
It was only Josh Gordon concerns, basically. Like, is he going to smoke some reefer?
yeah, it was do something stupid.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he arrested for possession of marijuana this offseason?
Yes, but the
Like
story
charge
kind of went
didn't
away.
stick.
He said, "Yeah, the charge. They couldn't put him in the slammer."
The Teflon receiver.
He, apparently his friend was borrowing his car down there, and it was his friend's pot.
Oh.
You know, that age-old story.
Yeah, Chris Carter.
Like, it's not mine,
Get
it's
you
my
a fall
buddy's.
guy. Get you a fall guy.
Fall guy, exactly.
Yeah.
And-
Hey, you find that friend with a record, he needs to always hang around you.
Yeah. Crazy thing, though,
It worked. I mean,
they bought it. It went away. They either bought it or they were like, you know, eventually it's going to be legal and every NFL player in the league is going to be smoking weed in a press conference, so let's just forget about it. But
yeah. Anything else you guys like to see this week, except for your boy just blowing it up again?
Who? My boy,
Myles
Phillip-
Garrett.
Oh man. Well, dude, I mean, Miles. The sack at the end of the game was in "quote unquote" garbage time on the under 30-second drive, but I mean, he produced again. Had a sack in the middle of the game. Knocked down a pass or two, I believe. Had a couple passes defense. He's going to wreak havoc for opposing quarterbacks all season long.
He's looking like he was worth the pick whenever
Yeah.
they did pick him. I mean,
looks like it'll be hard to stop him from getting a sack a game.
yeah.
It'll be extremely difficult.
Because he's high motor, high functioning. I mean, he's just quick off the ball, and he's a big dude. So, I mean, he's got every pass rush you could possibly have.
He's not a one move guy. He's not like, I can spin and that's it. He's going to bull rush.
He's the
spin rip. He can do it all.
He's the defensive end that John Gruden was talking about in his presser, where he said that it's hard to find good pass rushers in this league.
But John Gruden's his reasoning behind that is you've got to develop them. Like the college game doesn't necessarily produce good pass rushers. You've got to develop those guys, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
With to me some slight acknowledgement that Khalil Mack's a stud. I get it, but we've got to develop our guys.
That's more what he is saying.
Yeah, but also let's look at some of the other high-paid defenses in the league, right? Or high-paid defensive players. We've got the Chiefs. They've got Justin Houston with a huge contract.
Yeah.
All right, their defense sucks right now. We've got Denver, who's got Von Miller in a huge contract. Their defense really not that good right now.
Didn't look great. No.
I mean, putting all your money on one guy prevents you from paying a lot of really good second-tier players.
But again, not to jump into just Raiders right now, but you got a lot of money in your quarterback, who is prevented you from re-signing a superstar in Mac, and he's also doing those things that you just said. So, I mean, it's tough.
You had to say Raiders. You had to say Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on Raiders.
Get Arms all fired up.
I was getting ready to chime in, and I realized you guys were talking about something completely different than what was in my head. I was like, what? Why are they talking about the AFC West?
What about Denzel Ward?
Like, what happened?
I was trying to provoke Arms to do a Derek Carr.
Hey, you know what? He's stretching out that lead on Dak, just so we're clear.
True.
What's it up to now? 4 points?
He's got
4 points. Yeah,
there's two players between him and Dak now. Instead of
they're
side
each
by
in the
side.
30s over 2-game span.
It's pretty bad. But the reason I wasn't sure what you guys were talking about, because before we move on to the next game, we just wanted to pay a little tribute to the one win Browns.
Is it?
That was terrible. I got
What
tripped
are we
up.
doing?
But listen, congratulations, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
We got to celebrate, guys.
Dude, I'm feeling it. I like it. Oh, I'm just dancing.
Cleveland won. Baker.
Dude. Go to Baker!
Baker.
He's a quarterback of the future.
Callaway.
Oh.
Carlos Hyde. Yeah, that's where it ends. That's where it ends.
Yeah, you
Carlos Hyde. That's where it ends. Arms loves music time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes my day.
I'll give Hyde some credit. Look pretty solid.
I'll be honest with you. Carlos Hyde's running as hard as he ever has, in my opinion.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He would take on the first impact, whoever it was, and he was fighting for more yardage, trying to roll off and everything. And what he did on the first, when they were inside the 5 going in for that winning touchdown, they handed off to Hyde off to the left. He gets stopped, but he's driving, drop. He gets up, says, "Feed me again, feed me again." So you like to see that out of a guy who's kind of been pedestrian.
Duke Johnson irrelevant.
He has, and that is not good. It's a
Duke
travesty.
Johnson has 5 catches this year. He averaged that a game last year.
Yeah, and it's silly. This is why I'm
But that goes
Hugh
back
Jackson,
to Tyrod a little bit too.
Yeah, but I still think that Hyde's ability to run the ball, and he can catch. Whenever you've got Duke Johnson, you know what's coming. You know it's pass play. With Hyde, you've got options.
Yeah.
And I think he's performed better than they anticipated with them paying Duke the way that they did this offseason.
Yeah.
I think that, they're like, wow, okay, Hyde, you really do look like a complete back. I'm not saying he's great, but it wouldn't surprise me if he finished right at round 10 this year.
I mean, they paid him. They might as well run the piss out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that was their plan this year anyways, was to establish a running game where they don't give up on the run and then hope that Tyrod can, flick one.
And then at the end of the day, so let's say that you run him to death and he makes it 8 games. Do you really have that big of a drop-off from a similar type of running back with Chubb?
No, I mean,
They're very
I think
similar
they're
to me.
extremely similar. Running styles, ability, what they can do in the pass game once they have the ball in their hand. They're not dynamic, but they're all around, all-purpose backs
Right.
that give you a two-dimensional phase to your offense when they're in the game. I
Correct.
guess what you were talking about with like a Duke Johnson Jr., a Gio Bernard, a Corey Clement even is you're a one-dimensional offense with that back on the field. You're just going to be passing the ball, and that hurts. That hurts overall because the defense can directly scheme for it.
It's easy to forget, too. Like, Carlos Hyde was actually a pretty high-end prospect when he came out.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the ability is there.
He was a man among boys in
Yeah,
the Big Ten.
He was big time. He was on the same level in our minds almost as Zeke Elliott when he came out. Like, Carlos Hyde was close.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was a big prospect. He was a big-time prospect.
Zeke has that speed that Hyde lacks, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference maker in their game. Zeke is that much faster than a Carlos Hyde.
Yeah. I
But-
kind of expect Hyde to get stronger as the season goes on for some reason. I kind of expect to see bigger games.
He's going to be one of the better, if they've got the lead, one of the better grinded out 3-yard, 4-yard to carry guys.
Yeah.
Like I do like Hyde's prospect if they're playing it with the lead into the fourth quarter to rack up an
Which
extra
they've-
25, 30 yards in the fourth quarter.
And they've shown the ability to have a lead in all 3 games this year.
You guys ready to talk the next up-and-coming team in the league?
Ooh.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, come on, man.
Versus
Let's just run through this as quickly
is-
as possible.
This is going to be a close game. The Bills and the Vikings we're gonna be real close.
I'm going to tune into this
45-7.
for about 8 minutes, and it's going to be over.
In Madden, we play a mercy rule. It's 21 points in the ball. Do you think they'll do that so this will be over by halftime?
Running clock in the second half or something like that.
Latavius Murray's going to have one heck of a game.
And, hey, talk about DFS play. Latavius Murray, DFS all day. Huge value because Dalvin Cook is out.
If you happen to have him on your dynasty team, play him. I mean, if you had him as a handcuff to Dalvin, I think you're going to end up with the same numbers against a putrid Bills defense and offense. But
And I think the receivers are good in this game too. I think the Bills are going to be playing from behind, and Josh Allen can fling it. I mean, there's probably going to be a few interceptions, but there's going to be some big plays because of that arm as well. So I don't expect it to be blowout. The score will be closer than what the game actually is.
In PPR, Minnesota has 2 top 8 receivers, and I expect them to probably finish with 2 top 6 receivers this week.
yeah, I think they can both feast.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
off of that Bills.
Serious, like, no frets about it. I think Thielen gets 15 catches this game.
Good Lord.
Woo! 15 targets I'll roll with,
Yeah,
which
I
gives
think
him
he
about
goes-
12 catches.
Yeah.
Once they get up by
That's
24,
monstrous,
they're going to
too.
stop throwing the ball.
Maybe. I don't know. Kirk Cousins acts like he wants to say you like that
You
after
like
every
that?
game.
Yeah,
We
but
won
we didn't-
45-3. You like that?
We didn't
Yes.
stop you like that.
the one guy I'd stay away from is actually tight end Kyle Rudolph in this game, just because I think the wide receivers are going to feast. Latavius Murray is going to have a good game, but I think him being matched up with Poyer most of the game, that's the central point. He's the best player on that Bills defense.
It's a great point.
Yeah, I think you stay away from Kyle Rudolph, a top 10 tight end this week if you can. If you can go with another capable tight end, I'd maybe roll the dice on someone else.
I'd get Charles Clay.
Yeah, you could go Charles Clay, reverse
Charles
size.
Clay. The Vikings have given up over 90 yards to a tight end in the last 2 weeks. Kittle had 90. and Jimmy Graham had like 95.
Lambert bringing them stats back.
Yeah.
So Charles Clay, I think
Little
he's good
sneaky.
to roll out this. Yeah,
Sneaky DFS.
Why did you guys invite me back if you had him?
Well,
It's scheduling, isn't it?
it's an awkward silence.
he couldn't answer the question, and we were stunned.
Well,
Well, we're gonna tell you.
Listen,
I
you let
hate
us
you
use
guys.
your house for a long time. What I think how many months did we use Arms' house? Was it like 8, 9?
Yeah.
8, 9. So I mean, we've got 8 or 9 months of you welcome here, and then we'll.
Then
honestly,
you
it's
guys start paying
a
rent.
sleeve to bicep ratio.
As in 1 to none.
Truth is, you level us out.
All right, so we're gonna. I guess everyone's picking the Bills, right?
No, we're gonna go Vikings big time.
I think I'll switch it up and go Vikings as well. I was getting excited about the Bills' prospects early on, but I'm gonna switch it up. Say Vikings win this one by a couple touchdowns.
I think it's going to be Vikings, but what I will say is if you are in a pinch, there's going to be a lot of attempted passes by Allen.
Yeah.
I don't know how many is going to be completions to his own team, but he's going to be throwing the ball a lot because they're going to be behind, in my opinion, for the biggest part of the game.
Yeah, but
Probably pretty significant.
I got the answer to your question too. What just happened here? You can't record and get us beers.
That is correct.
So like we've got to have you, and then Lambert when we need the beers.
Does Josh Allen pull a Peterman?
I don't
Five
think
interceptions?
He's not that bad.
It's a good defense, but I don't think so.
I saw something on
The cracking of beers, folks.
I saw something on Twitter the other day, and it was whenever Peterman got named a starter, and it had a picture of Colin Kaepernick, and guys like, listen, I'm no attorney, but I feel like if you present this in court as a collusion case against Colin Kaepernick, like
Instant win.
instant win, Kaepernick wins, he's been blackballed, collusion, NFL, getting shut down.
Let's talk LaShawn McCoy. Probably not going to play in this one. He's got like a rib cartilage issue. So you got Chris Ivory and is it Marcus Murphy?
Dude,
think
I
it's
was
the-
about to say I have no idea who the Bills backup
Marcus
running
Murphy.
back
I
is.
think he was a former Saint.
Nor
Arms
would I
is
play
usually
them.
a Saints aficionado. Do you remember Marcus Murphy?
No.
I think he
I know.
was a Saint.
Ivory was a Saint, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ivory was.
He's
I
a
think
Saint in
Marcus Murphy
Jacksonville.
was too. I hope I didn't.
I'll
botch
just
it,
completely stay away from all of them.
Yes.
How about that?
There you go.
I'm staying away.
I'm with you.
I'm not wasting any time on the Bills offense. Just stay away from all of them. Even with
Clay's a nice call.
Yeah, Clay's a nice call.
On the defense, I'll take Tremaine Edmonds, and that's about it.
Jordan
Yeah.
Poyer, Tremaine
Oh,
Edmonds.
yeah,
those
Poyer.
are the players.
Yeah.
Give me Matt Milano as a deep sleeper this week. I mean, Latavius Murray's going to be running it left, right, and up the middle, and Milano's played pretty good.
Yeah. Hyde probably. Micah Hyde get some tackles.
That whole Bills defense should get some tackles.
They're gonna feast this game.
Well, they're going to be on the field a lot, so someone's going to have to feast. Oh man, this is going to be atrocious.
Yeah, so we got that one. Vikings definitely winning that one. Giants, Texans.
Danielle Hunter, by the way. Danielle Hunter.
definitely. Danielle
Yeah,
Hunter.
just teeing off. Everson Griffin's out.
Rookies always get sacked. So Josh Allen will probably definitely be introduced to Danielle Hunter. Giants and Texans.
What about him?
They're playing this week, week
Giants,
3.
Texans.
Giants versus Texans.
Does Deshaun Watson have a bounce back game? Does he
I
come
think
into
he's-
form?
I think he's slowly getting there, so I expect this to be the breakout.
Yeah, the Giants. I mean, is this the game where Eli? This is just the battle of struggling quarterbacks right now. Who can put it together?
Someone's got to have a get right game.
Yeah, I think
Marcus
it's.
Murphy, New Orleans, yes.
Yeah, I think it's Deshaun Watson gets back on track, and we're just seeing Eli Manning die.
Oh, yeah.
mean, it's ugly there. It's tough to play any of their players. As a Evan Ingram, I think we were all high on Evan Ingram. His stock's a little down. Yeah,
Give him Kyle Lauletta, please.
yeah. Just give. I hate to call
who's
for
rookie
a
quarterback's
2-time
target?
Super Bowl.
Tight end. Now, let's just go ahead and throw this out here. For everyone who said, Saquon Barkley, he's going to put up this 1,800-yard season. He's worthy of a top 3 pick. This is why we kept saying Saquon isn't. Because this is a bad team.
Yeah,
I
he's
still-
going to get his targets and stuff.
Yeah.
It proved
See
it
that
last
last week?
Little Christian McCaffrey like season so far.
Also, I'll go ahead and say this. Yes, he had a great receiving week. Okay, but at the end of the day, I keep hearing a lot of people say, well, they could have taken Sam Darnold with pick 2. What's a rookie going to do? He's going to be playing from his back. That offensive line's god-awful.
You think he'd have made the same face that Eli did when he was getting up?
No. Sam Darnold probably would have retired at halftime of that game.
Oh, man.
I mean,
Dude,
that was hilarious, by the way. And how funny is it that two of the biggest, quote-unquote crybaby things ever for a player to do, what Vernon Davis gets yelled at by Mike Singletary. He's like, are you dedicated team? Vernon Davis crying. And then Vontae Davis, his brother, retires at halftime. God, that's great.
They're brothers?
Yeah, they're brothers.
I didn't know that either.
Like, how do you feel if you're the parents? You've got a tight end who cried at halftime.
And you got a quitter.
And a guy who just retired is like, yeah, we suck. I'm not playing anymore. Like, what are you doing?
do you blame him?
No, I don't blame him, but for love
Oh, man, I play for the Bills.
I don't know why, but it came up on my YouTube when Vontae Davis got traded from Miami to the Colts. Like it was on Hard Knocks, and he looked. It was kind of sad. It was like he had big eyes, tears streaming.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So there you go.
Very emotional
Vontae.
family, I do believe.
Very emotional family.
Good Lord. But, man, hey,
Back to the game.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
Owens has to be related to him.
so Deshaun, we're all saying bounce back game. It's got to go through DeAndre Hopkins
And Fuller.
and Fuller.
I believe anytime
He's
he plays
back
a whole
to throw
game.
into Fuller a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes.
He was last year when he played. I mean, Fuller had multi-touchdown
Yeah.
games when he was in.
Oh,
Yeah.
scored a touchdown just about every game.
They're a nice 1-2 combo.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Deshaun gets it going.
And that frees DeAndre Hopkins up for so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, and Lamar Miller hasn't looked great. I mean,
Getting it done.
and he isn't gonna look great, but it's just enough for that offense to. It comes back to Deshaun Watson getting going. But
He's a poor man's Carlos
I
Hyde.
was gonna say Lamar Miller's going to be serviceable.
yeah,
Like he's a playable
fantasy
guy. For
purpose.
fantasy purposes. He's going to be serviceable because, as you said about the Raiders, where is the star? Let me
Yeah.
look on the team and let me find the star. Now the Giants, they do have two of them, so I think
Megastars.
I think Ogletree is a really solid linebacker, and of course they got Collins
yeah.
on the defense side. But other than that, like, where's the star on the defense for the Giants?
Yeah, JPP's gone. Olivier Vernon's not that good.
He's out.
It's the first time in like 10 years they haven't had a good pass rush
Yeah,
up front,
yeah.
or people you at least have heard of.
It's
on a
not
regular
Giant
basis.
football. Meanwhile, you got Chicago snagging Khalil Mack and playing Bears defense.
Yeah.
And it's like we expect that out of New York, and we don't have it.
Yeah. So I got in this one though. I got the Texans. I got to go Texans. I don't think Eli's going to get it done. I don't think they have enough just to feed Saquon. So I'm going to go Texans again. Bounce back from Deshaun. Decent game from Lamar Miller. I love their defense.
I'm with you. I think the Texans take it. And on New York, the only guy I expect to have a fantasy relevant day is Saquon and Odell. I wouldn't bank on Shepard or Ingram or Eli.
Yeah.
Shepard and Saquon for me, you can start them because you have to, but I think they'll put up just
You
enough
paid
for
the
you.
price
I
to
would
have
say
them.
you absolutely had to. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still going to be better than
is-
your number 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't bench them.
But the fact is, Odell owners, Saquon owners, Sterling Shepard owners, Evan Ingram owners, you got to be a little disappointed right now.
I'm actually taking the Giants in this game. I think it's a bounce back week. I think they've got it, whether it's a change of scheme or something. Something's got to change. Maybe it's feeding the ball in the running game more to Saquon. Something's got to change. So
Sorry about
I'm
that.
going to go with the Giants with the bounce back week.
I'm surprised, Arms. You've had Eli Manning on your fantasy team for I don't know how long.
I don't have him now.
He put up 23 points last week, which means he's going to put up 11 this week. That's what he does. He
you
puts
said
up
it yourself in
12,
an episode.
and then 20-some,
You feed
and
it.
then
You
back
feed it to
12.
you feed it to Saquon. Saquon's going to eat this week. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think the Texas defense is as scary as it used to be.
Man, we need to have a bet on this 11-point thing for Eli. Oh, we should draw numbers.
Right.
I got under. I'll take the under.
I'll take the over, but not, not if it goes past 13.
We can split it in half. Split the difference between the 22 and 11.
Less
16,
than 11,
yeah.
12 to 18.
Yeah.
So I think Cunningham, McKinney, both going to have fine games. Look at the safeties in this game as well to be able to have a productive
You were
game.
just talking Justin Reed
Yeah.
last episode. So.
I mean, Reed looked good last time out. I mean, why the heck not? Eli loves to throw into traffic. He will do it all day, every day.
And the Honey Badger right there in the middle of the defense, ready to pick anything off. I mean,
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
I think
another sneaky guy. Dylan Cole's been playing well. He's kind of one of those names
Low
we don't
key.
talk about. Yeah, low key. He's a good waiver wire pickup this week.
So anything, I also like the linebackers like Ogletree, McKinney, Cunningham as well for Houston. Anything else you guys like to add on that game?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Lambert, you got a pick?
I got nothing. Give me the Texans.
Give me the That's what we were all waiting for. That silence was just waiting for Lambert to make his call. He takes the Texans.
He's new.
My bad.
New, but oh so good. We got the Packers and the Redskins.
Oof.
One of those classic matchups. Do the Redskins go back to playing the way they played in Game 1, or does Aaron Rodgers dominate them with one leg?
dude, just the whole thing with Alex Smith throwing to Chris Thompson like 17 or 18 times last game just tells you that Redskin offense has no receiving threats.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play. I mean, I was up on Jamison Crowder, big time offseason. Thought he was going to be a Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, I
poor
mean,
man's Jarvis.
I think this is his
We all
week,
did.
though, for Jameson Crowder.
It's
been
time.
waiting
If
on
it's
it.
not his week, it's time to accept that Crowder's a wide receiver.
dud.
Green Bay,
Four.
Green
As
Bay
with-
gives up the sixth most points to wide receivers.
Yeah, it's time.
Look what they did to Thielen last week.
Yeah, but
Crowder's
there's
that
no
underneath,
comparison with Thielen and Crowder,
dude.
quality of
I
receiver-wise.
get that.
And if you somehow have hung
Don't
on,
bow down to him. Last episode was
no.
argumentative. Get him, Lambert.
Well, no, I'm not saying Crowder is not as good as Thielen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they give up a lot
hey,
to wide receivers.
Yeah, he's down in Jamison Crowder, but said, his Buckeye boy Terrell Pryor was a play of the week last week.
Did I say play of the week?
Whoops.
I said I'd play. And I did. I think I
With all due respect, Pryor scored more than Crowder easily.
And he's probably a better receiver.
He probably
it's
is.
Time
He
for
probably
time
is.
for me to admit that.
Yeah, waiver wire this week. Drop Crowder, pick up Pryor. Nobody, we won't hate you for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that with
Not
much
'cause-
conviction. I wouldn't actually do it yet, but if another week goes by with the same results, give me Pryor.
Yeah, that's good. Kind of something to keep your eye on if you bought shares of Jamison Crowder. And
Robbie Anderson's done nothing, and it has to have something to do with the none one Pryor possibly being.
By the
better
way,
receiver.
and Nunwood won over year the
Beast.
most overlooked receiver in PPR formats. It's like 8 catches a game.
How do we get on the Jets?
He might. Well, sorry, you were
get back
talking
to
about
Green
Robbie.
Bay.
We all did. We all did it. But yeah,
I'm
you're,
sorry.
No, you're good. And you're right. I mean, that's exactly right. Finish that actually, because that was good stuff.
No, I mean, it's like he's 8 receptions for 57 yards. You know, it's not like he's getting a ton of yards. He might squeak into the end zone, but it's still 8 receptions in PPR. That's 8 points.
He's scored more
He's
than
that-
Jarvis Landry
so
He's that
before this
underneath
week.
guy that Darnold's trusting.
Yeah.
It's most of the time they gravitate towards the tight end, but Inun was
Robbie Anderson wasn't that
He's a
great
bit-
when Anun was in over a year ago before the neck injury. Like Anun was the better receiver then, and he's the better receiver now. All right, Green Bay and Washington again.
Get back to that. My bad.
No, it's actually man. We get the comparisons are just good. So you roll with them.
Well, Packers. I mean, play Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he looked fine
Keep
last
an
week.
eye
A
on it,
wounded
though.
Aaron Rodgers is still a very capable quarterback and above average quarterback and borderline
Aaron
elite.
Jones back this week,
That
fresh
is-
off suspension.
Did you just call Aaron Rodgers borderline elite?
I said a wounded. I was
I'm
talking about
sorry.
a wounded.
I got you.
A wounded Aaron Rodgers is still a borderline elite quarterback.
My bad.
He didn't practice Friday, so there's a little bit of concern that he may not play. It's
And that's-
it's a possibility. So keep an eye on it.
At best, he's
Yeah, at least have someone who's got the same time slot ready to go.
yeah.
Dude could be out there in a wheelchair. He'd still be
Top
better
10 dude.
quarterback.
Probably so. I'm sure he could throw with plenty of velocity.
You guys have to understand, though, part of Aaron Rodgers' value is his elusiveness. I mean, I was talking about it with someone the other day.
I could see him rolling out of a sack in a wheelchair.
But what makes Aaron Rodgers so good is the fact that he's really hard to get sacks on, and he gets rid of the ball really, really quick and accurately.
Yeah.
So
Knows how to get rid of
Yeah.
it. Knows when he needs to keep it.
Eli
and make a
Manning on the Packers would be doing what Eli Manning's doing right now with the Giants.
play. Yeah.
It's the same scenario because that's not a great offensive line. you hobble Rodgers a little bit, it's gonna hamper him pretty good. So if you're fortunate enough to have two quality quarterbacks, maybe look at the other guy this week. See how it plays out, because the Skins are going to play ball control. It's dink and dunk. It's long handoff type plays. It's the short pass routes.
And they just straight up might protect Rodgers in general on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
I know one thing. We can sit all running backs in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's not a
Peterson's-
single
Except
one.
Chris Thompson. I mean, you
Yes.
have to say
Oh, yeah, I
Chris
forget that
Thompson.
he's a
Yeah,
running
he's
back.
still going to get 14, 15
Also,
targets.
another good DFS
It's
play.
crazy.
DFS played Chris Thompson. But, Adrian Peterson's not a thing again. Everyone is like, 96 yards. Okay, 1 week. He's already worn back down.
He'll have some good weeks, but I think he'll have more weeks of like 50 yards than he will.
If you didn't sell him after the first week, you're keeping him all year.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Orrin Burks
'Cause you can't get rid of
may
him.
be back this week for the Packers middle linebacker. Obviously, you're playing Martinez, but that might be, if he plays, could be a sneaky play. They picked him where they picked him for a reason. They do want him to start at middle linebacker for him. And on the Skins, Zach Brown's questionable, so keep an eye on that as well.
I think you can dial up your Washington secondary too if you have them rostered. There's not many to roster, but if you have them rostered, I think you can dial them up, because Rodgers is going to sling the ball plenty.
A DJ Swearinger, their free safety, is a great play in this one. I mean, he could come up
Lots of
with
tackles.
with a pick, but a lot of tackles, a couple pass defense.
Swearinger's averaging like 10.5 fantasy points a game. I mean,
Yeah.
he's doing quite
He's
well.
always been pretty good. It's just the right fit maybe hadn't happened until Washington.
Yeah, agreed. And of course, Clinton Dix more of a tackle game than an interception, because Smith doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
I'm taking Packers in this one.
I got to go Packers too. I mean, even with the hurt, the lame, the wounded Aaron Rodgers, they're just a better football team. I think they're a better team and have more dynamic receivers to get it done.
I'll dissent. I'm going with Alex Smith and the Skins. I think he's going to win.
Ooh,
And we
against
can't-
the green arms tonight.
I wish you still had the recording that said, maybe I'm the wrong one.
I do, actually. Do you want to
Maybe-
hear that?
No, you don't have to play.
Maybe
But
I
he
am.
is on this one, so it's going to be Packers.
Well, the guy we didn't talk about on the Skins, you're calling the Skins in this one. Jordan Reed, is he going to get a little? Is he going to have a decent game?
Yeah, I think so.
If the
They're
Redskins
going to be
win.
playing from behind. There's going to be plenty of garbage time points for tight ends and maybe Crowder, like Lambert said.
I mean, it just.
I'm just
I
saying
don't-
they're winning. So
I don't expect. I could see, statistically, everything but points. The Packers get more yards and everything else, but
in the end.
in the end, winning a 13-14 game, it could be. I'm going with the Skins.
All right, so the next game, I had the pleasure of sitting down on my phone, and Facebook told me to watch Joe Montana versus Steve Young all those years ago. Chiefs-Niners, back when that happened. Man, how times change. Now we got Garoppolo versus Patty Ice Patrick Mahomes.
Dude,
Can he keep it up? Can he... I say no this time, but the no is still something I want to start every week, because I think Pat Mahomes has 3 touchdowns this week.
yeah.
I was
Not
gonna
six,
say I
not
say I
five.
bet he gets 3 at
3.
least.
If he goes below 3, I'll be shocked.
If you're a fan of quarterbacks, this is one to watch. I mean, not that Jimmy Garoppolo is on the level of Patrick Mahomes now, but just in the up-and-coming quarterbacks, these are the 2 guys you kind of want to watch, other than a Baker Mayfield, something like that. But I'm tuning into this one. I think both quarterbacks are playable this week. You play everyone on that Kansas City offense. I mean, Arms made a mistake and sacked Kelsey last week. But Kelsey's playable. I mean, Hunt's playable. You just go out, Tyreek. They're all going to have great games.
Bit of a down year for Hunt, but you have to start him. I mean,
you paid
if
the
you
price.
drafted him, yes,
You
exactly.
paid
Yeah.
top 10
Yep.
prices for
You
Kareem
have
Hunt.
to
You
start
have
him.
And the second you don't start him, he's going to go
Go nuts.
Yep,
Yeah.
he'll
well,
go off.
and Spencer Ware's questionable, so that's only benefiting Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I think he
You know,
gets it done. Gets back on track to where he was.
Exactly, because you give Kareem Hunt most likely the 75% of the workload at this point.
Yeah.
Then his hot hand starts making them realize, oh wait, he was really good last year.
And
Huh.
even if this is a shootout, which I expect it to be, where you're not running the ball a lot, Kareem Hunt's still valuable.
Oh,
I mean, he's going to have a touchdown receiving plus 3, 4, maybe 5 receptions go along with that. So
I'll also give you guys a deep play. Chris Conley, for the Chiefs.
he's involved.
Number
I was
3
digging
receiver. They Mahomes is distributing the ball so much better than I expect someone who's essentially a rookie to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's finding the number 3 and 4 receivers. I mean,
The first 4 touchdowns last week went to 4 different receivers.
yeah, I mean, what more could you want? So all of a sudden you're looking at someone who might have that, making the number 3 receiver relevant. And I said this during the offseason, whether it's him or DeMarcus Robinson, someone's going to have relevance. And I hate to say it because...
And you haven't said Sammy Watkins yet.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I hate to say it, but I think Sammy Watkins is probably going to approach 100 yards again this week.
Yeah, I think Sammy's starting to get acclimated with his offense, and
And maybe the product...
Playing into a startable week in, week out wide receiver 3 play.
Yeah, he's approaching wide receiver, too. If he
is.
puts up another 100 yards...
Stays hot.
Yeah.
And I got to say, Arms, multiple episodes you talked about, if you went into a lab and created a running back, you come out with Saquon Barkley.
Correct.
If you went into the lab and created a quarterback, is it Pat Mahomes?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I mean...
Dude,
Aaron Rodgers.
I get the Aaron Rodgers thing. Like, I get that. But if you were going in to build the prototype that could throw the lasers, multiple touchdown games, could run it, has an elite athleticism and an elite
ability
arm,
to go through progressions.
I mean the talent. None of us expect him to keep up the pace, but he looks like the prototype. He looks like the new prototype.
I've got a
NFL.
question.
Yeah, he's
for
not
you.
throwing 80 touchdowns.
I've got a
this year.
question, though. I got a question. Why not? Do you think the Niners' defense is that good with Fred Warner starting at middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Malcolm Smith. I mean,
Yeah, he may keep it up.
An archaic Richard Sherman. I mean, Jaquiski Tart, the best player on the defense, is questionable. I mean, let him eat. Pat Mahomes is going to have another good game.
I'll say what Dennis Green said once. If Pat Mahomes has a 5 to 6 touchdown game again, crown him! Crown his ass!
Absolutely.
Crown him.
Hey,
you want to crown him, then crown him.
I mean, I'm playing.
Arms is gonna crown him.
I'm playing Pat Mahomes. Now, I'm not putting a gold jacket on him yet. He's not my MVP yet.
Not playing golf.
But right now,
He's
he's the MVP of the league right now. If the season ended today,
Oh, Fitzmagic might have something to say about that.
Fitzmagic's playing great until he turns into Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic. Hey, what do you? I like Burita in this game.
I do too.
He's the pass catching back, and all of a sudden he could possibly be the 15 carry back, not just 10. I think he's earned a few more. Like you said about cutting Albert Morris from 14 to 7, at least give 5 more of those carries to Burita. I think it happens this week. He's a great play. I think a lot of Niners are a great play because Pat Mahomes is probably going to have the Chiefs ahead.
The
I
Chiefs,
expect a shootout.
The Chiefs have been eaten alive this this season by pass catching running backs. And Burita, he looks like, I don't want to say the real deal, but he looks more than capable. Burita, hey, play him this week. I think he's going to have a great game.
You watch him run. I said it last episode, and I hate to say it because there are two names we don't talk about a lot, but Burita and Philip Lindsay have a lot of the same qualities, and I just maybe that's the new kind of back in the NFL is the guys like those two.
Dynamic. It's just one word to me. The word I love to use with running backs. New age NFL is dynamic. It's dynamic running backs.
I paid 51 out of 100 free agent bucks.
Money well spent.
For Burita. Because I ended up having to, I didn't like where anyone was at.
I didn't know if he was saying Burita or Lindsay, but well spent either way.
Either way,
Yeah.
yeah. But Burita was available after week 2, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, I got to get him.
No, my number 2 was, a rookie. It was either going to be Sony Michel or Rashad Penny or someone like that. And I'm like, God, wait, Burita's out there?
Go get it.
All in.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah.
And if he's out there, or you have someone else who's, got 2 really good running backs, throw something out there. Dangle something, your number 4 receiver for Burita. Maybe they'll bite.
Yeah, never know. But the rest of that offense in this game, I think, is playable. Jimmy Garoppolo is a sneaky little top 12, top 10 play
I
in
think
this
he's
game.
going to have a good game.
I like Kittle in this game too. Again,
I like Kittle in this game. I like Pierre Garçon.
Who you starting, Kittle or Kelsey?
I'll start Kelsey, but it wouldn't surprise me if Kittle outscored him this week.
You better start him.
I'm not going to.
Do it.
Hey, I won.
Do it, Arms.
I won.
Captain overplay.
You'll win again. Just start Kittle.
I won.
As you
with
said,
Kelsey.
play your studs.
Hey, I made a mistake. I tried to get cute. I thought maybe Mahomes didn't have.
You won. It's okay.
I won
definitely
one
okay.
and I lost one, but I was still lost.
Right.
It was a 20-point loss. The rest of my team sucked.
Who wins this game? Chiefs, Niners. I think it's going to be close. I think the shootout Ned's talking about, I think is real, but I think it's going to be a shootout in the second half. after the Chiefs get up by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then it's going to even back out. But I still got to go with Chiefs. I'm a believer in P2, the Terminator, Patty Ice.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think that they're going to be up, and they're not taking the foot off the gas. I mean, I don't think Mahomes is going to be the least
I don't
bit
think
scared.
they took the foot off the gas once this season.
I know,
so
but
far.
if they're up by 20, I think they'll still continue to pass, and they have the running back to run out the clock if they need to.
Yeah, this one's easy for me. I'll go Chiefs. They're going to get up. They got everything on offense. San Francisco's just a little bit, just not quite as good as them at
Not
most
on
positions.
their level, but they're rising.
But they're rising. They're
Is
rising.
Goodwin out?
He is.
He's questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
pretty
questionable.
sure he's going to
Dante
be
Pettis?
out and one more game probably.
That's what I was going to
So-
ask. Is Pettis playable this week? Because I had to put him in
Oh, yeah.
at a 3
yeah,
last
Pettis
week.
is definitely
In
playable.
deeper
I
leagues,
wouldn't
not
be-
in
I
a
wouldn't be
10
afraid.
Yeah, it's 16-teamer. I had to put him in at a 3.
What's a 10-teamer?
10, 12 teamer.
Rookie.
What are those?
Yeah.
Never
Never
heard of her.
Everyone likes their team.
They're basically DFS week in, week out.
Oh,
Like
gotcha,
you,
okay.
you just have a super stud team everywhere.
Oh, I understand now.
Yeah, that's what that is.
But hey, I mean, you probably can't get Pettis off the waiver wire right now because everyone's expecting a better week. I was singing his praises. If it's a deep league, give him a shot if you need that number 3
I
receiver.
wouldn't be scared. I think we just might have been a week early on Pettis.
I've got him on my bench in the leagues that count, but it's a wait and see.
Wait
mode
and
for
see,
me.
baby.
Yep.
Let's go to Bark versus Arms. The Dolphins versus the Raiders. This
Dolphins
is
win it by a lot.
This is an exciting one for me. I'm actually listen. We've been calling the games after talking to fantasy players. I'm calling Raiders in this one.
All right,
no,
next
don't
game.
do that.
I might go Dolphins.
Calling Raiders, man. I'm just being real. Just being real. I'm calling Raiders. Cooper, Carr, they're getting it on the same page. Marshawn Lynch is getting a little more carries than normal. Miami is a 2-0 team because I think they played a balanced game in both of those games against opponents that the Titans are not going to be good. They're not. The Jets not going to be good. I think the Dolphins let those teams come back at them a little bit. Like, it was close games. I expect this one to be close, but the other way around. I think that Derek Carr is going to have a pretty good game. Carr, Lynch, Cooper, and I'm even going to throw out a little Jordy Nelson this week. I think Jordy Nelson gets it rolling, and I would start those 4. Cook, I think, is going to have an off week.
I think that Miami defense is too good. I just think it's too good to start Cooper or
That
Carr. You realize
Makes my heart warm.
the
Yeah.
Dolphins
That's
defense.
the first
Hold on a
positive
second.
thing I've heard on
Hey,
this
Hold on a
show
second.
about Miami.
Cooper went 10 targets for 10 receptions last week.
He's
Yeah.
still unreliable.
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Anyway, the Dolphins defense has allowed 51% completions. 51.
Dude,
Who is this guy?
Who were the quarterbacks he's playing against?
Couldn't tell you.
Mariota and Sam Darnold.
Okay, so
Yeah.
a rookie
Was
and
it Sam
a,
Darnold?
Okay,
and
they've
a
still,
bad
they've
quarterback.
still allowed 51%. Okay,
Now listen,
Amari-
with every game, the Dolphins' defense could be gelling more too.
You're
So I
right.
mean, he's got a point. Now I'm still sticking with the Raiders because I think this is where we find out the Dolphins are going to be average
I
again.
think the defense is just a little too much to overcome. Now the over/under is 44.
I hope you're right.
So I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I just think Dolphins.
I hope you're right.
No,
Yeah, I don't think it's a shootout whatsoever. I see very few playable, like, high-end plays in fantasy. Derek Carr's like a if you have to.
Amari
Jordan-
Cooper's a wide receiver 3 in my book right now.
Yeah.
I mean he did this last year. He is literally 2 points in a game. It comes back
Yeah.
with a.
Yeah.
I think he had like a 25-point game the next week, and everybody bought back in. People were trading, paying the value that you had to pay to get Amari Cooper last year, and everyone was disappointed the rest of the year.
Yeah. Flipping over to the other side, Miami's offense, I actually see some big games there. I see Drake.
Tell
to
me
play.
more.
I do. I think that everyone talks about Gruden being hard, bringing toughness and all that. That is a weak Oakland defense. I don't like it. I think it's soft up the middle, and I think Drake has a very good game. Tannehill's not going to have a ton of pressure. I'm not saying play him. What I'm saying is you might have a play with the Kenny
It's like
Stills.
the best game,
Yeah.
the best matchup for Tatum. Like, well, don't play him.
Don't play him.
Don't do
I
that.
Like,
mean,
this is his best match.
Don't
Don't
he's
put
actually-
him in there.
He'll
It's
make
not
it.
your other quarter's
Yeah,
bye
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Super flex. Don't even do it there. Two
But
quarterbacks.
Kenny
started-
Stills, Kenny Stills, I play a Kenny Stills as a wide receiver 3.
I think you have to play Kenny Stills
Yeah,
until
if you got him, unless you have a
don't.
really good team.
That's true.
What do you guys think about Albert Wilson this game? That's not a good Raiders defense.
Albert Wilson is coming on a little bit, so and it's a terrible Raiders defense. I like Wilson in this one. I like him more than Stills, to be honest. Wilson.
That's a big jump, but
Wilson,
I like it.
Wilson is my guy in this game on the receiving end. I love the Drake call. I agree with it. Tannehill, you sit him. I mean, the only time you don't sit him is if your other quarterback is
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
They
Eli
just
that
need
was
to give
perfect.
Drake the touches.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They need to give Drake touches.
Yeah, and I think they will. I mean, I think they'll realize he's the superior back. Frank Gore is the grinder that you want to kill some clock with, to be honest. So those are the guys I like there.
I say play your linebackers on both teams.
I agree. Your line. It's going to be. It's not. I don't think it's going to be an offensive fire show. It's going to be a defensive struggle.
Yeah, it's. I don't think, if anything, in a PPR league, an Amari Cooper might be a wide receiver 3 play, and I think a Wilson might be a wide receiver 3 play.
Yeah,
I do
going back to the linebacker. Yeah, I like most linebackers here. To where Tahir Whitehead's gonna have a good game.
Let's not waste too much time on these turds.
Raiders. I don't want either
Raiders.
quarterback if I can help it.
No.
Who's winning, Arms?
Give me my boys, Raiders.
Man, now you make me want to change it with the.
I'm going
Give me
Dolphins
my
here.
boy.
I actually like the Dolphins.
You do have a picture of you in a Dolphin shirt.
It was like $2.
Do we have a picture of him in Dolphins headphones? Is he a Dolphins fan?
Closet Fins fan. Lambert, who you got?
Dolphins, definitely.
Hey, I like it. Colts and Eagles. Carson. The return of Carson Wentz. Should we play Celebrate again? We won't, because Arms gets super ticked. But Carson Wentz is coming back. What do you think? I think you have to start him if you got him.
I don't think so.
I think you do, unless for some reason you have one of the better quarterbacks in Carson Wentz. Like if I have Carson Wentz and Blake Bortles, or Carson Wentz or Tannehill, Carr, Dalton.
If I have Blake Bortles, I'm playing Blake Bortles.
I'm playing Wentz.
I'll play Blake Bortles over Wentz right now.
What do you say, Shades?
Blake Bortles is playing great football right now. I don't think I'd roll the dice on Wentz yet, unless you drafted him high and
Colts defense.
Yeah,
Blake Bortles is number 8 quarterback right now.
but I think Andrew Luck's playable in this game. Yeah, jumping over to Colts side.
Eagles defense not exactly what we thought it would be so far.
They haven't come
Clement
on.
is a must play.
Yeah, Clement's a
Ajayi's
must.
out.
But he
Sproles
is
out.
questionable, so that's concerning. So keep an eye on that, because a very interesting, cost you literally nothing play would be Wendell Smallwood.
Yeah, and he got some carries, last week.
He will be
Out of
mixed in,
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
if
be
not
mixed
in a prime role.
unless they get Kenyon Barner in there on a whim, which is possible. The Patriots cut him, so Barner.
I'm not concerned about Barner.
He's an Eagle.
Everyone's always wanted him to be a thing, and he just won't be.
He keeps
I wanted
getting
him
a
to
job
be a thing.
somehow.
But you got
Just
Ajayi
a
who's
punt
out,
returner.
Alshon who's questionable, Clement who's now questionable, and on the Colts side, Max out, Doyle's out, and your boy Gaithers is questionable
Yeah,
on the
I
defense.
do like Jordan Wilkins in this game a lot.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I was just saying on that side, you mentioned Mack was out. I like Wilkins because Mack is out. Wilkins is going to get the lion's share.
Well, T.Y.'s a play.
how about
obviously.
how about Darius Leonard?
He's a must start.
He's a must start.
He's a definite must start, no matter where you have or who you have ahead of him. I don't care what the linebacker names are ahead of him. I have been sitting Deion Buchanan, and I set Demario Davis last week because of Darius Leonard.
Due to injury, I set Preston Brown, but yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, at this
start
point,
him.
you have to start him. He's got that upside. He is the only talented player in the front 7
I feel
for
like
the
we all
Colts.
need Darius Leonard.
he gets the
jerseys.
ball
Yes.
ridiculously often. But Jabal Sheard's not a bad play on the defensive end side. He's a talent. He's in the defensive end role. I mean, you could play him a little bit there if you needed one.
I like that. Eagles side, injury still ravishing the Eagles wide receivers. Is there a play there? I mean, Zach Ertz to me is a play for sure.
Yeah.
But
Ertz,
Nelson
Aguilar in a PPR league all day,
But
every
I
day.
mean, anyone else? Mike Wallace is out. I mean, Shelton
Yeah.
Gibson could be a sneaky DFS play.
There's no Hollins. I mean,
Yeah, Alshon didn't practice on Friday. He's
No.
he's not even cleared for contact.
No, that's
He's
why I
not
say
coming
Shelton
back.
Gibson could be a really sneaky play this week.
That's the only reason I'm not playing Wentz this week.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I mean, it's
who's
just
he
no
going
one
to get
to
the
throw
ball
to.
to?
it's a
Well,
wasteland.
I mean, Aguilar and Ertz, and if
But, so are you predicting-
Clement plays, there's 3 good options for him. He
they're all
can
check-down
make a lot
options,
out of
too,
those
so.
options.
Yeah, I'm still not going to play Wentz if I have another.
If you're in like a quarter point per completion, maybe, but I'm not ready to play Wentz. I'll wait and see. If I lose this week because Wentz blows it up and he's on my bench, I'm fine with that.
If he's healthy enough to play, you play him.
When
Are you
they
playing
get it-
Fournette this week?
If he's starting game time, absolutely.
I mean,
Well, he's a player that you paid to get, so yes.
Yeah.
you paid to get Wentz as well.
We're skipping ahead now, skipping teams again. My bad. But no, I mean
It is next on the docket, luckily.
But here's the thing, though. Wentz is coming back from a season-ending severe injury last year.
Yeah.
We don't know if he even trusts his leg yet.
Yeah.
Does he?
With not a lot of in the backfield and an injured wide receiving core.
Put him
I'd
in
stay
a
away
put
from
him in a wheelchair.
He's
Put him
not
out there in a
he's not
wheelchair.
Aaron Rodgers.
He could be a little tentative. I mean, not wanting to get hit. He wants to get that ball out quick. Corey
I do
Clement's
think
right
it's
there
a
to
little
catch it.
early for him to even they should give him another game or two.
Yeah,
But
I would tell you.
I'm rolling him out if I am in fantasy just because
You
I'm not
probably
a doctor.
paid one.
If you're going to pay the price in fantasy for a tight end, it's probably going to be Ertz this week.
Yeah. So who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Eagles. I don't think the Colts can get it done. I
With-
don't think there's enough.
With all the injuries, I mean, the Eagles are still a more complete team than the Colts.
I think weirdly it'll be close. I think the Colts
I
will
think
be
it'll
in
be
this.
close,
Andrew
too.
Luck looks like he's fine coming off another major injury too. But in the end, the Philly's just a little bit better at every position, even wounded.
Andrew
So,
Luck had 500 days to recover. He should be healthy.
Yeah.
Right. He
Well, those
he was real
snowboarding
close.
injuries really get to you.
Yeah, he was real close to, that same level of time as the Browns.
I want the Colts in this one, though.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, I'm pulling in arms here,
I
going
can-
against the grain.
I can see it.
Give me the Colts.
I think it's going to be close.
But if Clement plays, I will say that probably one of the best values in DFS right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Shelton Gibson, remember that name because there's not many guys to throw to on that offense, and he looked good in the preseason. Titans, Jags. This one, not going to be a close one. Jags are looking pretty good on offense right now. I expect them to take the Titans and strip
To
them
the
of their
woodshed.
swords and armor.
You just never know which receiver to play.
Mike Vrabel might cry in this one.
But I'm telling you, Keelan Cole's the real deal. I'll finally come out
Agreed.
and validate it for you, Barker. Man, Keelan Cole's the real deal.
Real deal.
Highlight catches, and he gets targets. I mean, I think he is an absolute must play this week. Could give you wide receiver one value if you're talking DFS, a medium level guy to pick up. Could give you wide receiver one value there.
I want to
He's
mention
starting
that
to
Cole,
remind me of like what Allen Robinson did a few years back.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no name recognition.
Yep.
You expect somebody else. The Jaguars really don't have anybody else at receiver that you're expecting to blow up.
Yeah.
But the name recognition's not there, and his price is still so cheap.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I want to be the guy who swings on Keelan Cole and whiffs? No.
Yeah.
But I will be. I'm fine. I'll take a swing at him, and if I miss, that's fine. If I've got to drop think in a redraft league, if I got to drop Cortland Sutton to do it, I'm doing it.
Oh, absolutely. And if Dynasty Leagues, I'm trading for the guy right now. I think his value, you could still get him where he's below where he's going to go this season.
And-
I like the Allen Robinson, 1,400 yards. I mean, I think he's a 1,200-yard candidate for sure. He could blow up like you're saying. Go get him.
And don't forget, Keelan Cole's one of those NFL draft diamonds guy. I mean, that's a Talbot guy right there. Keelan Cole's small school prospect, came out of nowhere and done it. I love him in this game. Corey Grant, I also like him in this game because TJ Yeldon is probably the one that's going to be sitting this one out now. Fournette will probably be back, but Corey Grant's going to get plenty of work.
Do you think they give him like a snap count? Like they don't play him too much?
Yeah, I do. I think they don't want to push Fournette too much because he's the kind of guy that can re-aggravate an injury in a heartbeat. So
And they like Corey Grant.
they do.
They-
And I think his role will just continue to grow.
He was the guy getting the ball at the end of the New England game when they were really trying to salt that lead away, and he was running people over. I like the way he
Well, that
runs,
tells
man.
you some things. I mean, they're going to trust him in that.
Yeah.
So
He's just a
absolutely.
bowling ball. I mean, he reminds me of Ray Rice, and that's a high comp for a third string running back.
Yeah, I mean he's explosive. You don't, once again, back to the no name recognition. but the guy's going to offer you some tremendous value. If you've got a Devontae Freeman who's not going to play this week and you're scrambling to get someone, go get Grant.
Yeah, Corey Grant's a very good play with Fournette on the snap count.
So another
Blake Bortles, sorry, I wanted to throw a little Blake Bortles love when we were talking about Keelan. I mean, that's the other thing about Keelan. He has a good quarterback, a quarterback playing good. I won't call him. Let me rephrase that.
No, what you meant to say was he has a great quarterback.
Blake Bortles is playing really, really good football right now.
Yeah,
I've
the
been
guy
impressed.
had talent. He just never put it together. And maybe
I feel like we're back on episode 0 whenever we were talking about Blake Bortles.
That was Blaine Gabbert you guys were talking about.
That's actually true. Yeah.
Oh, Blake
No, it was Blake Bortles.
But before we get to our first sponsor, let's talk Titans and a little defense. But Titans, is there anybody you want to play?
Mariota's injured.
Yeah,
he may not play.
Speaking of Blaine Gabbert,
it's a true game time decision. I mean, if I'm going to have to play anybody, I'm probably just forfeiting the week. I mean,
yeah, I'm not even
so
sure about
tough.
Corey Davis this week.
If I have to play a Titans receiver, it's Tywan Taylor.
Tywan's look good, but I don't agree with he's the guy to play. I'm more with don't play any of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that
Again,
way.
if
No
I
offense.
had to,
I'd go Corey Davis. Corey Davis is my have-to guy in this one.
If you have to me, I mean, you could do worse as a wide receiver 3. He's either going to surprise us and break out or do exactly what the Jaguars want and catch one ball for 12 yards.
Well, I feel like Davis' stat line is probably going to be 5 for 50.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that a lot this year. You're probably going to see consistent 10-point production. Maybe every now and again bumped into the low 20s, but 10, 10, 10. He's wide receiver 3.
Kevin Byard's the only Titan I'm playing.
Oh, yeah, he's throwing 2 touchdowns this week. Byard is. Dane Cruikshank, you can look at him as a flex play this week, old Cruikshank. But, yeah, no, defense, Jaguars, I think you can play your studs. I mean, you're going to play your guys. Ronnie Harrison. You could play Ronnie Harrison this week.
Yes. Alabama safeties, baby.
Gabbert's going to be throwing the ball. That sounds weird. Your beard's weird. But Gabbert's going to be throwing the ball plenty, and I think that he could be one of those guys that picks one off. Ronnie Harrison's looked pretty good for the Jags. But play your linebackers. Wouldn't be worried about Jack or Telvin. They're going to be fine. And on the Titans side, for me, it's Byard and maybe a Dory Jackson because he's been pretty decent.
I'd go Wesley Woodyard. You got
Wesley Woodyard. Yeah,
if consistent performance-wise, he's always going to chip in like 5 tackles.
He is, but I am worried about the fact that Fournette could be on a snap count because I don't think they're going to give Corey Grant 20 touches as a running back.
But I think
maybe as a receiver.
I don't know, Corey Grant. I like him out of the backfield.
I like him too, but
running the ball.
I would like to see them give it to him a little more. I'm not sure if this is the week that happens or not, but I'd just be a little Woodyard. Don't know if he's going to have that many tackle opportunities.
Yeah. I'm going to go. Who you got in this one?
Come on.
Oh,
by the way,
the Jaggins.
If Barry Church must start for the Jags, absolutely have to start him.
All right.
I'll let you take me to church. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Jags all the way in a blowout. I don't think this would be close at all.
The Jags might have this division wrapped up like week 8.
It's certainly looking that way.
They're the class of the South. It's not even close.
Let's take a little word with our sponsor. It's mybookie.ag or .com, I believe. If you go on mybookie.com and enter the promo code ROW, R-O-W, and add 25 to it, you will get your first deposit matched, not just dollar per dollar, but if you do that ROW 25, you'll get an extra $25 on mybookie.com. And here's a moment from our sponsor, which is mybookie.com. Check them out. You know, ever since I started this podcast, people have been asking me for advice. Usually it's what team to bet on this week. The truth is, I don't know who's going to win. But if you think you know, you got to check out MyBookie. Remember, who you're betting on is just as important as who you're betting with. That's why I always tell people to bet with MyBookie. Trust me, guys, they are your best bet this season. They've been in business for years, have great reviews online, and their mobile site is easy to use. You can lay down some cash and win big today. They have in-game live betting, the most rewarding player perks in the business, and for you fantasy guys out there, you can even bet the over or under on how many fantasy points a player will score each game. So join now, and MyBookie will match your deposit dollar for dollar. Use the promo code ROW, capital ROW, to activate the offer. Again, visit MyBookie online today. That's MyBookie, and don't forget to use promo code ROW when creating your account to claim the bonus. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, the link to MyBookie will be on our Twitter, and we'll get it on the website for you. ROW25 is the promo code to get dollar for dollar matched. Gambling's illegal now.
Get your
It's
free
illegal. Go out there and bet on some freaking games.
It is legal.
Illegal is bad.
Did I say illegal?
It is legal.
Said it
I'm living
twice.
in the past. It's legal.
Yes.
It sounds like you say illegal, even when you say it is legal.
It's that southern slang.
Just
I tell you what's
say
legal
legal.
now.
Say legal.
It's loud.
Legal.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right.
It's legal now.
But go do it. Matt, did you say dollar for dollar match?
It's a dollar for dollar match, and if you do the promo code ROW, it's a dollar for dollar. But do ROW25, you get an extra $25 to go.
So in
gamble
other words,
with.
let's say I put in $100.
Okay.
They give me $100, and if I use our promo code, they give me $125.
You got it.
So what you're saying is the back row show gives you $25?
You got it.
Boom.
So
Dial it up. Who doesn't like gambling?
To kick back a little bit into the
We've all went to Vegas together.
Who doesn't like $25?
Yes.
Even
I
if you
like
don't like
25.
gambling,
yeah,
$25.
cash that out.
You have to gamble with it, I think.
Yeah,
That's
you
okay.
got
I doubt they're like,
Even if you don't like gambling,
free
just
gift.
gamble with your free $25.
yeah, just even if you don't like it.
throw it on the Colts. Lambert's pick his
Yes.
upset of the week.
We do things we don't like every day.
Get at them.
I will touch back on that Jags-Titans game real quick. Fire up your defensive players for the Jaguars' defensive line. They're going to be with a huge lead, being able to tee off and get that pass rush. And
who plays on their defensive line?
Yannick.
Yeah,
And I like Malik Jackson and obviously your boy,
Yeah,
Campbell.
Calais Campbell. He got poked in the eye last week. Came out of the game. They said he was fine. So he had a questionable tag actually early in the week. He's fine now. Play him.
Yannick, left you a goose egg last week, and hugely disappointed. I mean, the guy's got something to prove. He said himself, "I'm the best pass rusher in the league." Get out there and prove it, Yannick.
Yep.
All right. Well, do we split it into two, or do we just make it a long one?
Split it. You want to split it? Do you want to
Split it. I want to hear the
Split it.
music twice. I think the listeners do too. Go
Okay.
from one to the other.
Well, guess what, guys? That's the end of this episode. You can back right out of this one and jump right into the next one that'll be posted the same day, same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, we'll see you in just a minute. Barks out.
Good night.
Peace.
See ya.
See you in a minute.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.